So welcome everyone to this workshop on ChatGPT and AI for educators. I welcome you all, and we have with us our instructor for today, Ms. Akanksha Arora, who is a Microsoft educator and will be taking this workshop ahead to tell you what is artificial intelligence and what are artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT and how educators can use those tools to make themselves productive, to make their work easy, and also to help students learn these tools. So let's start with it. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I want you all to stay until the end and be a participant for this workshop. Share your opinion in the comment section, share your comments, share your questions in the comment section. So we will take it up and we will try to answer all the questions. At the end, we will also share resource material with you. Also, there is something that Edjobster also want to give you. So let's start this workshop. Thank you so much, everyone. And over to you, Ms. Akanksha.
Thank you, Hamid, and thank you, Edjobster, for this opportunity. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this session on ChatGPT and AI for educators. As educators, we are always looking for ways to improve and innovate in our field, and AI is one such technology which helps us achieve our learning goals. So it is a pleasure to be here with you all this evening and move ahead on our journey to explore what AI can bring to our classrooms. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge all the amazing work that you do. You are taking out time on a working day to attend this session, and everything that you have done for your students, for the schools that you work for, or any other educational institutions that you are a part of. So to acknowledge your efforts, I have something for you here. You've got a reward, okay? So imagine that you are being rewarded for all the amazing work that you have put in, and the reward is an assistant that you've got. Your school leadership has decided to provide you with an assistant who will help you with all your teaching tasks. So in the chat, tell us what tasks would you need help with, or what tasks would you like to assign to this assistant? Feel free to command and demand. Okay, I will assign to give details about new innovations, to reduce my document work, to make my PPT, correction work, teaching slides. Great, a whole lot of work that we do. Yeah, correction of notebooks, making concepts clear, collection of notebook, attendance. Awesome. Great. So we are assigning this assistant to you. And how are you feeling now? So you can show us a reaction, a thumbs up, a heart, the laughter. You are being rewarded with this assistant. Great. We see a lot of likes and smileys there. So once you are happy, I think this is a nice space to begin with the session. And I'll move on to my question about what is AI, because happiness leads to interest in the topic. So now, since everybody is happy with the assistant and you've already told me what all you need assistance with, you have been assigned the assistant for now. Let's park this for a while and begin with our topic. What is AI, or what is artificial intelligence? It is the development of computer systems that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as problem solving or understanding natural language. It involves programming computers to think and act like humans in certain ways. Okay, so when computers start acting and thinking like humans, that is artificial intelligence. Now, how will they start acting and working like humans? So it involves a few steps. First, they analyze data and find patterns. Then they use these patterns to make predictions or decisions. Right. I'm sure all of you have at some point of time been involved in result analysis in your school. So you collect the result, you analyze the data, how the students have been performing, what subjects, in which subjects they're doing well, in which subjects do they need more support. So we have all done that. We have analyzed data, we have found patterns there, and we have made new policies and decisions in the school based on that. So exactly that is what AI is doing here. Now, machine learning is an approach to implement AI where computers are trained to work on large data sets. So to make computers work like this, to analyze and do everything, we need to train them. And through machine learning, they are trained on large data sets to learn from examples and improve their accuracy over time. So here is an example. For example, I need some information, and the question I searched was, who was Mahatma Gandhi? And so as you all know, search gives us a list of all the websites which we can refer for certain content. And these are the 4 websites from which I have collected the first paragraph of who was Mahatma Gandhi. Vedantu gave me something, Wikipedia gave me something, BBC and Britannica shared some information. I analyzed that information and took out the main points from these 4 different sites. Okay, so these were the 3 points. All of them were highlighting that he was an Indian lawyer, fought against British rule, and through non-violent protests. Once I got the 3 pointers, I used my natural language to frame the answer that who was Mahatma Gandhi. Right. So this is exactly what I just talked about. We analyze data, we find patterns, we use these patterns to make predictions or collect information, and that is how AI works. Now, one thing to note here is how many sources of information did I refer to? I referred to 4 pieces of information or 4 sources here. Whenever you read something about AI, you will always come across 2 terms, and I'm just going to talk briefly about these 2 terms. One is LLM, which is large language models. So what are large language models? We are saying computer behaves like humans by using natural language. So they are trained on large language models. And so basically they are trained on large amounts of data, such as books, articles, online content, using deep learning technique. And that's why the term large language models comes frequently in any article or blog or whatever we are reading. The other term is NLP, which is natural language processing. It is a subfield of artificial intelligence that focuses on interaction between computer and human language. So once the data is provided, the large language model is provided to for reference, then the computer has to understand it, interpret it, and generate natural language from it. Okay, so it first takes it in, processes it, and generates content from it. And that is all about natural language processing. And because these 2 processes are very integral to AI, that's why you come across these 2 all the time. So since we've understood all the terminology and everything, now I think we can answer this question that what is ChatGPT? It is an AI language model. Okay. It's a language model, so it can recognize, summarize, translate, predict, and generate text. Now, this is something technical. GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which is an architecture on which it is built. So this is completely technical. As educators, we can ignore it. GPT-4 is the largest and most powerful of all the AI technologies till date. ChatGPT was introduced in November 2022. And in March 23, we have GPT-4, which is like the 4th version of ChatGPT. And it is the most powerful. Before this, we had GPT-3, ChatGPT-3, and it was based on 175 million parameters, whereas GPT-4 works on 170 trillion parameters. So do you see the kind of, specifications that we are talking of here? So it's immense. So when I was telling you that I referred to 4 sources of information, it was just 4 sources. And here we are talking of parameters and trillions of those parameters. So this is the power and strength that ChatGPT has, and every day it is evolving. It is still learning and growing. So now is the time for a poll. I want you all to answer this question. Yeah. Do you think ChatGPT or AI can take away your job? Yes, no, not sure. Yes, okay, not sure. Hamid, I would like you to unmute and tell me what do you think about it? Yes, no, not sure.
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
Can I speak?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
sure.
Yeah, I think it cannot take away the job because it is not a human assistant. So it cannot take away the job, and it is not physically present everywhere. So on a human basis, if I see that it is it cannot take away job because it is only for at a time it can maintain a work of only one person, not a work of all the person which are present at the same places. As far as my consideration.
Thank you, Pranesh. Thank you for that response. Okay, so we have around 9 and around 75 responses, and out of that, maximum goes to no. A few of us feel yes, and we are not sure whether it'll take away our jobs. So if you ask me, there is no right or wrong answer to this question. Even I am not omniscient to know what will happen in the future or what will ChatGPT do. But for now, I can tell you that there are different parameters on which we can assess this. And one could be right now, we are not using technology everywhere. We don't have those kind of equipments and infrastructures to introduce this in the classroom. So right now, I feel a bit safe that my job is not going anywhere as an educator. It is generated by human to assistance is assistance. Okay, Dhirendra, thank you for that response. Moving on to the next question. Were you able to see the results?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Moving on to the next one. Would you like to use ChatGPT in your work? No, I can manage my work without it. Not sure how I can use it. Yes, we'll try for sure. Okay. I see a lot of enthusiasm there. Everybody is excited to try it. Some people are not sure. Okay. Yeah, I was looking for that answer. I can manage my work. Great. Last 10 seconds for those who haven't answered yet. I can manage my work. All right. Dr. Tataya, we are with you on that. So cool. We have 62 people who feel they will try for sure. 7 are not sure how they can use it. And 3 of us feel that we can manage our work quite well. So thank you. Now, if you ask me, should we use ChatGPT? Then what will be the answer? Should you use ChatGPT? Right now, I was asking, would you like to use? Now the thing is, should you use it or not? Yes. Okay. Yes. I see a lot of yeses there. Why would you say you would use it?
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, can I speak?
Yes, please.
When some work where a new technology has been introduced, and when we can make use of that, and when our work time limit it is taking too much high, when we start googling or searching, So as per your workshop, I was Google searching and in YouTube. So I was finding so many links where it is saying it is so useful. So
Okay.
why don't we make use of that, I thought.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah. So if you ask me, my response would be to you, if I will be ready to use anything, if it helps me save my time. Saving time is something we all can appreciate, and we are always running short of time being educators. And
Yes.
if something helps me to do my work better, then I am all game for it. Okay, so two criteria for me: one, save time, and number two, if I can do my work better through something, I would definitely try, give it a try. So since we are all on, so is everybody on the same page here with me? People who were not feeling sure and people who thought that they can manage well, would you like to have a look? Because you are getting two bonus points here: saving time and doing something better. Would you like to go ahead and try it out? So here we move forward to see what AI can do for educators, and we are going to talk in terms of both academic settings and non-academic settings. Coming to the first thing that a teacher needs before entering the classroom, the lesson plan. Okay, so this is the prompt that I gave to search. Okay, create a lesson plan to introduce metals to middle school students. And this is the search result that I got in the browser. Okay, so I was given a list of n number of websites where I can look for material related to metals, and then I'll have to spend hours going through these websites and sifting material, then analyzing what I need, what I don't need, and putting it together. That is the kind of work that I was expected to do if I searched it in the browser. Now look at it, the same prompt when I gave it to ChatGPT, the results that I got. Okay, so create a lesson plan. This is in 2 slides. It gave me a very clear objective, what students will be able to do. The students will be able to understand the nature of metals, their properties, and describe their characteristics. And then a complete step-by-step procedure to follow within the classroom, starting from checking previous knowledge that we all do, asking students what do they know about metals and their properties, and then giving them the metals and asking them to observe, touch and feel, talk about the shine of the metals, ductility, malleability. Moving on to the chemical properties, where we talk about metals being good conductors of heat and electricity, and oxide layers on top of the metals, uh, and then the effect of water and acid on them. At the end, it also gave me a closure to summarize the properties and then give some homework. And in the end, we also had the assessment to evaluate how well the students had learned. So this is the kind of result that ChatGPT gave me in less than 10 seconds. What do you think about this lesson plan? Do we have any science teachers, EVS teachers, or anybody who would who understands a lesson plan, I think, can comment, irrespective of whether you're a science teacher or not. What do you think about this lesson plan?
Very good evening, madam. I'm just, it's absolutely right. If you're going to just believe in that and proceed with this, definitely it can help all our teachers. Thank you, ma'am.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Shividya. Yeah. So that is just one example of lesson plan. I would suggest each one of you to try it out probably after the session and see what kind of results you are getting. But do go through it and try to critically look at it. You may identify some gaps in it, which you would want to, where you would want to add your own content. So look at it in a critical way to begin with. So the lesson plan generation was the first use case. I'm coming to the second one, where we can generate educational content also. So not just lesson plans, but with summer vacation round the corner, I'm sure each one of you has holiday homework on your to-do list. And so I gave a prompt which asked for designing 4 activities for holidays homework for grade 5 students with subject integration. I didn't want English homework separately and math separately. I wanted it to integrate. And let's see what the results are. It has given me 4 activities: create a travel brochure, design a board game, conduct a science experiment, and create a recipe book. Don't you see how well the application of learning is being reflected here in all these activities? And it is also specifying in each of these activities which subjects are being covered. Because I had talked of subject integration, it is specifying travel brochure will have geography, writing, art, and social studies. Science experiment will have science, writing, and communication. Recipe would have math, writing, and health education. So that's the kind of results we are getting in less than 10 seconds. Use case number 3, simplifying complex topics. Okay, so right now I've taken a very, very simple concept here, where we are talking of a novel in grade 6. CBSE has recommended Ruskin Bond's The Blue Umbrella. So it's a novel which is, say, around 150 pages. So sometimes it's not possible for some children to go through the entire content of the novel on their own. So I would recommend giving them a summary. So write a summary of Ruskin Bond's The Blue Umbrella. Rather than writing my own summary, I don't have that kind of time. I requested ChatGPT and I got a good summary. Now, suppose I'm the Hindi teacher and I have to give a creative writing task to my students. I can link it to what English teacher has taught in my school. So she has finished with this novel and I would like to give an essay writing, nibandh. Okay, so I ask ChatGPT to give a task in Hindi related to the story, The Blue Umbrella. And this is the result I got. So it typed everything in Hindi and gave me a Hindi task. And don't be surprised if it gives you content in all your regional languages like Gujarati, Marathi, Punjabi, Urdu, everything. Okay, just try it. So the other day I was trying, asking it to write a poem on spring, and it created a beautiful poem on spring. And then I said, okay, create one in Hindi and then Punjabi. And it was so interesting to read all of that. So here it has very clearly suggested कि आप निबंध लिखने के लिए प्रेरित कर सकते हैं और जो कि मेरी पसंदीदा चीज पर आधारित हो. So the context has come from Blue Umbrella, where the girl loves the umbrella, and so it is about मेरी पसंदीदा चीज, and it has specified a lot of pointers also here. Moving on to the next use case, where you can personalize the learning experience. As teachers, we always want to provide remedial teaching to the children who are not performing up to the desired level. We are also looking for extraordinary questions to be given to our children who are much above the level of the class. So, but we don't again have time to create those kind of worksheets and material for them. Here, you can ask ChatGPT to provide different levels of questions for your students, and you'll make sure that you are addressing the differential learning in the classroom. So here I asked ChatGPT to explain India's freedom struggle for independence in simple language. A lot of children struggle with history, civics, geography because they don't have the command of the language and they can't write long answers because of that. So first ask it to explain something in very simple language. So it listed freedom struggle. And then I asked it to create 5 fill-in-the-blank questions based on specific information from the text for children who find it difficult to write long answers. But we need to motivate them that they can also do something. So this is the first level, giving them something which is specific information from the text. While for everybody else, I asked it to create 5 understanding-based questions from the text. Okay, so I am able to address the different levels of learning within my classroom. So as you can see here, I tried to generate assignments so these can be in the form of quiz, these can be in the form of MCQs. All this is possible just at the click of a finger. Next use case is correcting assignments. Somebody said, I wanted to check my notebooks. In fact, a handful of you said you would want your assistant to check notebooks. And here I gave this text written by a child about an experience with the sibling. Okay, so he's talking about his little sister, and he has written this paragraph. I copy pasted this in ChatGPT and asked it to correct the errors. This is the list on the right hand side that you see, which I got here. So riding should be ride, here should be heard, bought should be brought, okay, go should be went. So it has listed all the things required. So initially what happened when I asked it to highlight to correct this passage, it just highlighted change the words. Now, if it has changed the words, how will my student come to know the errors? So I again had to ask it that don't change the words, give me the errors that can be corrected. Then I got what I have written on the right hand side of this slide. So it is very important that you ask it to perform according to what you need. So sometimes it will give you answers according to its own understanding. You can always ask it to refine your answer. Then I asked ChatGPT to give me feedback for this child. How will the child improve his writing skills in future? This is the feedback that I got, another use case, not just correcting, but feedback. How do we comment on the student work? Fair, well tried, good effort, can do better. Okay, but we have always wanted to give qualitative feedback to children for improvement. And see, it didn't start with immediate feedback. It first appreciated what the child has done. Great job on writing about your sister's accident. Your writing shows that you have good understanding of what happened. You did a good job of describing the events. These are the things you can improve upon. Pay attention to your verbs, use articles correctly, proofread your work. And then again, it's motivating. In the end, keep up the good work and keep practicing your writing skills. So completely human touch. Okay, had it been 10 years back, it would have been very mechanical. A grade, B plus. Okay, but the way we have evolved, similarly, our technology is also evolving. So that brings me to the end of use cases for the academic setting. In case you have something more on mind, do share in the chat and let's talk about it. Meanwhile, I will show you something. How many of you use Microsoft Search? I'm sure a lot of us have used Google Search. Now, just to inform you that ChatGPT, so basically Microsoft has a partnership with ChatGPT. And so the Microsoft search engine, which is called Microsoft Bing, has ChatGPT integrated in the search. So you don't have to go to any other platform. If you use Microsoft Search, which is Microsoft Bing, then ChatGPT comes integrated with this. So here you can see when you'll type Microsoft Bing, it will open on the search page. Right next to search, there'll be chat. You click on chat and you will get access to ChatGPT within Microsoft, and you can search and find keep refining the content as per the prompts and go ahead. Moving on to the next part, which is beyond the classroom. So when we talk of beyond the classroom, there are a lot of different stakeholders that we are talking of. There are a lot of different activities that we are talking of. So here, suppose you have to make an announcement. For, you are starting your clubs in the school and you want to announce students. You want to organize the student council. You want to make announcements for inviting students to volunteer and nominate themselves for the student council. All those announcements you can ask ChatGPT to write for you. Okay. You can use it for communicating with parents. There are a whole lot of circulars. It's the beginning of the session. I'm sure a lot of you are sending a great number of circulars to guide parents on everything, right from uniform to books and what to expect from assessments and parent-teacher meetings. So ChatGPT can help you with all of that. Event planning. A very, very, important and very meticulous work is required here. Very diligently, we need to plan everything. So this also can be done in a few minutes with ChatGPT. Let's try out one. And then report writing. A lot of us struggle with the writing of personalized comments for our children because we fall short of words. So we can always highlight what we want, how the child is performing, and ask ChatGPT or Bing Chat to keep refining and framing those comments for your children to be written in report cards. So this is all that you can do with ChatGPT beyond the classroom. I'll just show you one example. Let's go to the live platform and try it out. I hope we have time. Yes, we do. Okay. So what event do you want to plan for? Say summer camp. So plan summer camp in school for K-12 students with a variety of activities. What are the different steps involved in organizing it. Okay, and let's see how well it is able to answer. So it's saying determine the goals and objectives, whether you want students to learn or experience, what skills or knowledge do you want them to gain? Decide on the activities. These could include art and craft, outdoor sports, science experiments, field trips. Ensure that they are age appropriate and safe. Set the schedule, create a schedule for each session, include breaks, meals, and free time. Just imagine the kind of detail that it is focusing on. Choose a location. Select a suitable location and accommodation, accessibility, safety, facilities like bathrooms and sleeping areas. Recruit staff and volunteers, market the summer camp, plan for safety, finalize logistics, execute, evaluate. Okay, now the step that I wanted to detail further, I can ask it and it will keep providing me with the desired information. So how are you all feeling? I want to hear that.
Good, ma'am.
Good. Okay. GPT can be used by students in future only to avoid misuse and make the activity highly personalized. Just my 2 cents. Okay. You're excited. You want to try now? Great, Vidhi ma'am. Great. Excited. Mind is blown, Ankita. Absolutely how I felt when I saw it first time. Fantabulous. Great. Awesome. Everybody wants to try it now and wonderful. So the objective of my session is already achieved.
Good evening, Akanksha ma'am. Can I ask one question?
Yes, Priyanka, go ahead.
Ma'am, is it helpful for mathematics teachers for correcting their sums?
Great. I wanted somebody to talk about maths and let's talk about it then. Okay. Anybody has any clue? Anybody who would like to answer Priyanka's question?
Yes, we do have for that math also, I think, because it's giving a lot of answers in this. So whatever sum we type, I think we get the answer completely with the equation we get.
Yes. So we get, so I have tried a lot of math related content here. So create 6 questions related to fractions, addition of fractions, create some warm-up exercise to introduce algebra to students. So these kind of questions I have given and have got amazing answers. It gives you real good stuff, but one challenge is there with ChatGPT. So what did we begin with? How does ChatGPT collect information? It refers to a lot of database and picks up information from there and shares the result, right? Now, if you give it a question, a very long question, complicated calculation, okay? Question, specifically calculation, that some calculation which is for which the answer is not available in text form on the net, it will not be able to answer because it tries to read information from the net and give it to you. It is not calculating information on its own. So do you see that? How it will not calculate for you because it's not a calculation tool.
Okay, ma'am.
It is
Thank
only
you so much.
Yeah. So that will not be possible. Everything else is possible. You ask it to create 100 questions, it will do it for you. You ask it for 100 ideas, math-related activities, it will suggest n number of all those. So there's no limit to that. Only calculation is a challenge there.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. Okay. So one thing that we all need to focus on is writing prompts, asking the right questions. So for example, if I have to go out for dinner tonight with my husband, how do I search for a place to go? Do I say dinner? What can be the prompts if I have to go for dinner? How do I search for the right restaurant that I want to visit?
By mentioning the cuisines that I want to have.
Great. Thank you, Vindhya. Yeah, so I should specify that I want to eat Chinese or I would like to eat Mughlai. Perfect.
And ma'am, to specify the perfect location, like what type of restaurant we would prefer.
Right. So type of restaurant, location. So whether I'm in Delhi or Mumbai or Bangalore, I'll have to specify that. And where exactly in Delhi, how far would I like to go? So yes. So similarly,
the budget.
Perfect. Absolutely. Thank you. So budget is important. So now you know how we refine our search. Similarly, you have to refine your prompts while asking ChatGPT to produce the desired results. So it cannot be something vague. The more specific it is easier for it to answer. So for writing prompts, be specific, provide context, give examples, and test and refine. Okay. Something to avoid is jargon and abbreviations because it may not be able to make sense of what we are saying then. So I hope we have answered this question, that what are the potential benefits of AI in education? I hope all of you can list all that we have just covered till now. But the second part of this question is yet to be answered. What are the drawbacks of using AI in education? And Shalini had shared in the beginning of the session that she had some apprehension about, would you like to repeat it, Shalini?
Like, does it not stagnate your creativity or your
Yes.
thinking? Yes.
Thank you so much. So does it stagnate our thinking? Will our children stop thinking? Will we stop thinking? What do you think?
A definite no, first, because it's a human brain at the end of the day.
Okay, all right.
But what I was thinking is, like, instead of giving assignments like this, I would rather create the assignment first and then ask ChatGPT to improve on it. I mean,
Great.
that way my creativity is also not stymied, and also I get added brain in form of a ChatGPT. This is how I see it.
I really appreciate that thought, Shalini, that yes, I'm also responsible. I'm just not responsible for my work. I'm also responsible for my own learning, for developing my own potential. So yes, if I can do something, I will not depend on it, but then I will depend on it probably to make it even better. And that's what you just said. So great. I think you've answered your own question there. A lot of people have apprehensions about students also. It's not just about, stagnating or hampering our creativity, but also our students' creativity. And there were a lot of articles when it was introduced where they said cheating, teaching or cheating with ChatGPT. Have you come across those articles? Everybody was talking about cheating with AI and cheating with ChatGPT and how it is going to be really bad. And a lot of universities have already banned its use. So,
Akanksha, may I say something? I'm so sorry to interrupt.
please.
But then I think I work with IB board, and IB is one board which has accepted ChatGPT as a reference. Okay? They've allowed the children to use it, provided they actually cite it properly. So it has been legally, I mean, if I want to using the right word, it has been allowed by the board itself.
I think that is really, I would like to applaud that decision of IB, because you can't keep this generation away from, the evolution that is happening in science and technology. Ultimately, these students have to work with that. So what are you gaining by distancing them from something that they need to grow with? So really appreciate and thank you for sharing that, because it is for all of us to learn that, yes, there are some children who are continuously being exposed to it. And if I am not exposing my children to this, then what am I doing justice to them? Because they'll be in the same world where Shalini's children are going to be. So a lot for us to think about. And okay, I see a lot of comments in the chat. So great to have all of those. I would answer this question about cheating. So how to address this issue if a lot of you have this apprehension that it is going to, disrupt the way my children think. So there are a lot of checking tools. Okay, so whenever there's a problem, the engineers find a solution to it also. So here, the problem was cheating. Okay, we have developed tools where you can check. You can copy paste the text and check whether it has been written by AI. And one of such tools is GPT-0. So you just paste any content on GPT-0 and it will tell you whether it is written by AI, whether it's written by human. It can very well tell you that. Although I'm not sure if it's 100% accurate, but it's very clearly I have tried something that I've written. I pasted something that I asked AI to write. I copy pasted and I got the perfect result there. So checking tools are available. If you tell your children, I'm going to check it, they can't copy. Because if you see in universities, this issue has always been there. When these people submit their research papers, there were tools which checked plagiarism, right? So the same thing has been taken forward here, and we can find this. So if you tell your children beforehand, they have that alert that we can't copy everything. The next thing is critical thinking tasks. Give them tasks where they actually have to look at the two sides of something. So for example, what does says ChatGPT say about this particular concept, and how is it explained in your book? Compare the two explanations. Okay, so if you're asking them to compare the two explanations, they will have to write up, even if they are searching the answer of or searching that concept on ChatGPT, they're analyzing it later. Okay, how it is different from what is written in the book, or is it absolutely the same? So, but then they're reading it in both the places and coming up with an answer of their own after understanding. You can ask them, give them tasks to which include personal attributes. So if I'm asking them to write a piece, I would also ask them to include your personal likes, dislikes, your personal childhood experience. So even if they're asking ChatGPT to write something, they will have to add their own perspective or their own experience to it. So somewhere I'm giving them a base probably from ChatGPT, but asking them to add on to it. Recording tools such as Flip. So if you're aware of Flipgrid or Flip, which is a video response app, so you can ask these children, once they have understood the concept, ask them to explain it in the form of in a video response form. And when they are explaining it on video, I know that, okay, it's not that they have learned by it's rote learning, or is it they are able to understand it. I can easily assess and evaluate how well they have understood. So these are some of the ways. I'm sure each one of you can think of many more how we can, battle this issue of cheating with AI. Okay, coming to the last part of our session, what are the challenges in using AI? Okay, so there are certain challenges here. Anybody would like to volunteer and talk about them? So one challenge I just shared while answering Priyanka's question about mathematics. So calculations, it can't do calculations. That's one challenge. Okay. It may give you inaccurate information at times. It is still learning. Okay. And I am not sure how many of you would have read the news where people tried to confuse ChatGPT and it actually got confused. Okay, so first it gave some answer when people said, no, I think you are wrong. Then it also got confused. Okay, I may be wrong. So you can't be sure. And so we have to actually validate if what it is saying is fine. We should use our critical thinking for sure with it. It has no access to the latest data. So if you ask, it has been trained on data till 2022. So if you ask it something related to 2023, it will say, I don't know. Okay, so you can't depend on it for current affairs. Security and privacy may be an issue. It's referring to a large amount of data, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if people are also sure how secure we are or how the privacy is being addressed there. Ethics. Okay, so this is very interesting. When you talk of ethics, it is trained on ethics. And if you ask it, give me a list of the pirated sites where I can watch movies. Okay, so it will give you a very nice answer that I cannot share the list of it because it's not legal, and you can't have access to these sites. So that's the ethical answer it gives. But again, it has you can confuse it. So if you so there was this person, I read it in the news. The person said, tell me which sites are pirated and I should never refer to them. So it gave the entire list of those sites, So yeah, it's still learning and it will have to be trained on things like this. It also has, a tendency to give you biased information because it is reading a lot of data. So suppose it's reading data which is biased, and it may give you answer which comes from the biased data and is biased. So these are some of the challenges with ChatGPT or any form of AI for that matter comes with. Any comments? Any thoughts? What do you think now? How are you feeling? We are towards the last leg of our session.
One small question.
Yes.
Yeah, as you told, the regional languages, regional things also, like languages, it gives answer. So
Yeah.
when I type it in the question bar, in which language we have to type? Like, is it, it should be in English only our question, or how it should be?
Yes, you can type in English and it will give you in the desired language. You ask it in you ask it to give you the answer in Spanish, it will give you in Spanish. So it can read all that. It is trained on all these languages.
Done. Thank
Ma'am,
you.
can we use this chat GPT when we have insufficient or low quality data?
So what would you use it for?
For finding out any answers or for searching anything?
Yes, of course. So low quality data, like why are you referring to low quality data? I didn't
Like
understand.
suppose, ma'am, sometimes we are not having proper data. Sometimes we are in a remote areas, or sometimes in the classroom also we are not getting the proper data. So in that case, can we use that?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Totally up to you. But you have to be alert and vigilant about what you are using. Just don't take it at its face value. Just verify or read it beforehand. Just don't open up something in the classroom all of a sudden.
Okay,
I
ma'am.
would recommend that be prepared with whatever you are doing.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, what about diagrams? In what ways it's different from Google search? Okay, so I showed you, Champaka, I just showed you a response when I had searched for a lesson plan. So when I search for a lesson plan, it gives me a whole list of lesson plans. It doesn't give me specific data. When I searched for who was Mahatma Gandhi, it gave me 10 sites, out of which I took 4. Okay. But when I searched, if I search who was Mahatma Gandhi in ChatGPT, it is going to give me a proper framed answer in natural human language. It will not give me sites. So that is the difference between Google search and ChatGPT. What about diagrams? So it is totally a text-based tool. It will not give you diagrams, but it will give you prompts for diagrams. For example, if I say I have to prepare a slide on artificial intelligence, what kind of picture should I put there? So it will give you what kind of picture you should put. You can ask it to create stories. So suppose I ask it to create a story for a kindergarten child about a monkey and a dog. Okay, so today the child has learned animals and I want them to revise monkey and dog and something about it. I ask it to create a story. It can create a story. And then I can ask it, what kind of pictures should I use with this? So it'll give me scene to scene pictures also. That in this story, the dog should be doing this, the monkey should be doing this. And I can use those prompts. But it will never give me images because it's not an image generating app. Yes, Anmol, please go ahead.
Hi, Akanksha. Thank you so much for the session, and I think lots of great insights about ChatGPT. I just wanted to touch on one quick topic. So I run News About Media, which is a news for kids company, and we collaborate with a lot of schools to provide current affairs to kids, right?
Right.
As you pointed out, that current affairs can't really be given by ChatGPT right now at the moment.
Yeah.
However, we have started leveraging ChatGPT even in our content creation. So the way that I just wanted to share this constructive way with everyone. So
yeah,
if you want to look at, say, current affairs, for example, there is no way to ask ChatGPT, hey, can you just explain this current topic to me? But what we are using it internally for is to give a lot of context behind certain news. So for example, if a war has broken out in Sudan, right? So where does the conflict stem from? So that is the information that we ask GPT. So that is how you have to constructively use GPT to, kind of make children aware, right?
Great.
Just
Thank you,
wanted to
Anmol, for
share
sharing that. I'm sure it's very insightful for everybody. And yes, so again, not just at the surface that, okay, it's not telling us, but then of course it can build on whatever our query about current affairs is. So thank you so much for that, Anmol. Yes, Dr. Tataya.
Happy evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yeah. Actually, my question is related to how that chat GPT helpful to the accounting, business, economics students.
Yeah.
With the following the traditional methods in addition to global changes, how it is connect to the global changes, means advanced. How it is helpful to the easy to helpful to the students and both the facilitators.
I think it will be of immense value there, where you can ask it to share unethical practices in business. and it can give you a list of data, and you can ask your children to critically look at those practices and what they feel about it. How would they address those issues in the industry? How would they tackle that corruption? I think there's a lot of scope. We just have to
So my straight question, ma'am, that is the numerical part, how it is helpful.
Okay, so for numeric, you will be able to generate as many questions as you want on any topic that you want. Okay, so take any topic and ask it to generate questions for that. It will do that for you. Ask it to explain content. Ask it to put that content in a story form. It will do that. So all that is possible.
It is not
Again,
story related, ma'am. It
no
is
calculations.
Numericals actually. It is not a story related.
I told you that is one.
Yeah, that is there is coming to the economics. There is statistic related, and
Yes.
and at the same time the linear equations. That part, how it is helpful to the
You
student.
have to check and see how
Yeah,
well it can do it. So as far as I know, it lacks the ability to be completely trusted. We
Thank you.
can't trust it completely on numerical calculations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, Shalini, go ahead.
Okay, first, I wish to thank you, Akanksha, for a very, very informative section, and team at Edjobster as well. Okay. I wanted somebody to actually touch upon it because I have been trying it. This is more hit and trial on my own, but I wasn't very sure how are people approaching it. So thank you so much, one. Okay. Secondly, I was thinking, like, why can we not use different AI tools itself to compare their validity? Like compare ChatGPT with Bing on the same question. So you can have a comparative analysis of the efficiency of the tools and then come up to a logical conclusion on the validity of the sources itself.
Yes, we can do that, but it is not always that you will get a satisfactory answer. For example, if you ask for ChatGPT's opinion on something, it may not want to give its own opinion because it leaves it up to you to decide. So if you ask it to compare two appliances, whether I should buy this or this, it will give you the specifications, but it will never say that you should buy this. It'll say, I compare these two like this, but it is totally up to you which one you choose. Okay, so it will. So similarly, if you ask it which is better, say Bing Chat or ChatGPT, it won't probably give you the exact answer in a black and white form.
Very good evening.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please carry on.
Dr. Srividya, go ahead.
Yes. So it is a wonderful software that we can just definitely use for the school. And really, I agree with all the points. And the one thing, as it is Microsoft's product, definitely I believe we have to pay for that, and it will be of that sort, I believe. I'm just would like to get the clarification regarding that.
Okay, so it's right now it's free, ma'am, and it's a free tool, but there is certain limit to how many prompts you can give in one chat. So suppose you've started asking it one question, so you can only give up to 20 prompts, and then you will have to start a new chat. Okay, then you have to clear it and start a new chat. That's the limitation, but otherwise it's free.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you. And in fact, I would just, because you're talking about the monetary aspect of it, so I'll tell you it comes with some added bonus also, where I'll probably just share the screen once more and show you. Yeah, so if you look at my screen here, this is my Bing chat. And every time I search something, I get some reward points. Like we all use those credit cards and we get some reward points here. So if you see the trophy here, I get reward points, which I can actually use on my Flipkart coupons or Cafe Coffee Day and all those different things. So yeah, that is an added advantage. Just because we were talking about the monetary aspect, I thought I should highlight it.
Wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So any afterthoughts, any questions, any more questions? Otherwise, I'll pass it on to Hamid.
So we can check that in the chat box also. If you have any questions, any added questions, if you want to, if we have missed it earlier, if you can write that down once again.
So I would just like to complete it with a story that, so I think this is Egyptian mythology where the story comes from. And this person who invented writing is sharing with God that enough of the art of speaking. Let's provide people with the skill of writing. And the God says, you are going to spoil their memories and you are going to take away their understandings. Okay. So that was God's reply when he introduced the concept of writing. Okay, so anything that is introduced, any innovation or something new that comes up is always looked at critically. It is always criticized, but we all can, I'm sure, count the blessing that writing has been for us. So similarly, we had calculators. Everybody thought people will no longer be able to calculate. We had internet and people thought everything will go away with internet. But today, the children, the kind of general awareness they have, the kind of skills they have, I think I was no match. I'm still no match to the teenagers these days, because they have been born in an age where internet was available to them and they know so much more than I do. So yeah, it's up to us to embrace the technology and make the best use of it for ourselves and for our children. So thank you, Hamid and Edjobster, for this amazing session, for bringing us all together. And thank you, everybody, for participating so wholeheartedly and actively and making this discussion so enriching and empowering for everyone.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Akanksha, for joining our initiative to educate the educators on learning how to use ChatGPT, AI tools like Bing Chat as well. And as I was also going through a video a few days ago, where a school in Bangalore, if any one of you have heard of it, in the Indus International School in Bangalore, their ICT teacher has developed a robot, a real robot, to who is a teacher in the classroom. And the news was like, do we need a real teacher now? But that that robot teacher is there to just assist the main teacher in the classrooms. As an assistant teacher, they are using robot, and all the the learning of that robot that they have installed in it, the data which is there with the subject, is going to help teachers in generating the right content. But nobody can replace teachers, because it is not about the content that the teacher is teaching, but the feeling and the way the teacher teaches. It is not just the textbook, it is the feeling, it is the presence of a teacher that makes the classroom mindful and active. And also there was a question like, should we allow children to use ChatGPT? I would say that we should allow them, because if you won't help them, if you won't let them experiment with things now, and if we think like it is wrong, it is not safe, and it is not a good thing to use for children. We used it, we tested it, and we thought that it's not good for them. And now if it is wrong and they use it later, so they will use it in a wrong way. But if we help them identify the right things to use and the wrong things to not use, so they will be able to identify it better and make use of the technology in a positive way. So it's better to create awareness among students about the softwares, the tools which are there, so they don't misuse it, but use it to be more productive and to achieve their goals in life. So well, thank you so much, everyone. Well, we have a lot of people who joined from on YouTube and also on Zoom app as well. And we had a lot of questions, and I hope we were able to give the answers to it. Now, there are a few things that I would like to share. First of all, the certificate for this workshop will be sent to you over email within 2 days, as we have more than 250 registrations, and we can send automatically, we can send just 100 certificates in a day. So we will send it in 3 days to all the participants who registered and who also actively participated in this. Now, the second thing is that we will also share the links of certain resources with you in the WhatsApp group. Also, if we can share the presentation with you for you to refer to it in future, and the video will also be available for you. And I would like to thank once again Ms. Akanksha for taking this workshop for so many educators. And I think, well, we have a lot of people who are commenting in the chat box that they are grateful, they are thankful that they were able to learn from this workshop. Well, we will. Another thing I wanted to share with you all that Edjobster has been doing a lot of workshops, and we also have started some, capacity building programs for teachers, which we will also be sharing later as well. But for now, as you are in school, summer is also going to start. Students are also going to go on their holidays. We have a summer camp for children that we are doing in collaboration with an organization. And it is not a fun summer camp. It's a learning summer camp. Well, we are talking about technology, we are talking about growth, we are talking about startups. So we decided that we will do a summer camp on entrepreneurship, on young entrepreneur program that we are planning to do, which will be in the month of June, which is scheduled for June, but we are taking the registrations now. And if you want your school students to register for it, to join this workshop, because in this summer camp, it will be a 6-day summer camp, and we will teach them from how to research on an idea, how to research on an idea, how to think of an idea of business that you want to do, how to research about it, how to build your presentation, your pitch deck, and also start the business, understand the financials, start the business and grow it. So from ideation to launch a product, a business, and take it further. And there is also a cash prize of 25,000 rupees for the participants, for the people who are going to, for the students who are going to complete the course, and also give a presentation for business. And they will also get a funding later if they qualify and if their business idea is good enough. So we have a cohort of about 1,000 participant students from across India, and we have received about 400 plus registrations so far. We have a lot of educators over here. What we will do, we will share the document with you about the program in the WhatsApp group. If you want, you can message us or you can register on the website as well. And we will take you further. We will contact, our team will contact you to take the to tell you more about the program and how you can enroll your students in it. All right, so that is about the course. And anything else, any closing remarks, Ms. Akanksha, if you would like to share?
Yeah, so I asked everybody to imagine that they were getting an assistant. In the beginning of the session, I had asked them to imagine. So I'm leaving them with the actual assistant to help them in their classrooms. I hope you enjoy working with it and achieve, more than what you have set the goal for this year. So all the best, everybody. And your summer camp also, I would like to mention that Microsoft is also running a Take Lessons summer camp this year, where we are providing free sessions for students of all age groups, like kindergarten to class 12. I will share the link probably in the WhatsApp group. And people can, forward it to their students to register and try out these sessions, right from design thinking to music, to Shankar Mahadevan Academy, who's hosting some sessions, and Banzu for Vedic maths. So a lot of variety for everybody to choose from.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. You all can enroll for that. Secondly, we would request you, because I think you found this workshop very useful. If you can share your feedback, how you found this useful and your learnings from it, and if you would recommend other people to attend such workshops, I'll share a Google form link with you. If you can just click on that, just take a 2-minute feedback as a testimonial, you can say. So that would be really helpful for us, and it keeps motivating me to do such workshops, to take these initiatives. And I'm really grateful that always whenever I put up that we are doing a workshop on this topic, and we get more than 200 registrations every time. And I'm very grateful to all the people who support us in this initiative. And we will also always, keep doing such things. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today. Thank you so much once again, Ms. Akanksha, Ms. Shalini, and Dr. Tataya, and everyone, Ms. Garima, and everyone who joined today. We will now end this session. Thank you so much. Good night. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Good night.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Manish,
much. Good
for
night.
useful
Bye.
information.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.